Guru team, welcome back to another first look, first hour series. This is yet another Bohemia interactive game. This is ARMA Reforger, which has just come out for console, December. I was holding on to January in the vague hope that it would come out in special. Obviously, it hasn't. It's still quite premium price. Probably come out a little bit cheaper in a couple of months' time. If you know anything about Bohemia Interactive and DayZ comes from ARMA, so it started out with ARMA and then DayZ. They also have Vigor. They do have another game called Silica, which I'm hoping upon hope, fingers crossed, will come out eventually on console. It's more of a sci-fi game, which is more my particular genre that I like best. But they've said they're not even going to look at doing that until I think once they get past build 1.1, and they're not at build 1.1 yet. But I will keep you up to date on that. Anyway, ARMA Reforger. There's a lot to talk about, and I'll show you some gameplay, and we'll see how we go. But there is a lot to talk about. The first thing I would say is this game is hard, like DayZ is hard when you get started. If it takes a while. I've been playing it for a few hours now because I didn't really want to. I wanted to feel like I was giving this a little bit of credit and doing it a bit of justice, and I couldn't really do that without jumping in and playing it for a bit to really get a handle on it. There is an incredibly detailed field manual. There really is. In particular in Conflict, which is the base game, there's a whole bunch of stuff in relation to all of the other various bits and pieces that you can do. And then when you get down to things like weapons, for example, there is a whole load of things on weapons and ballistics and zeroing and optics. And so anything you wanted to know at all about military training, and I say this never having been through military training. So if you've been through basic training and you go, that's absolute horse what, LJ, you do anything about it? I fully, absolutely am prepared to accept that. But there is an awful lot in here. You can take your time and wander through it. You may also find some of this stuff very helpful for DayZ, I would say. At its heart, it is a cooperative game. It is a multiplayer game, so it obviously has the multiplayer side of it. The multiplayer side of it, this is the kind of screen that I would like to see for DayZ. Because for a start, it has ping, which is very, very useful because you can actually go along and separate and sort by ping. Sorry. So I can then go, right, okay, well, there you go. These are all the games that are happening in my area with a really low ping. That I feel like I could jump on because it isn't always necessarily clear. You got here Immersion Club. I mean, I don't know where they are, but obviously they're somewhere nearby, because the ping is only 28. So I think I said that at one time. I would really like it if they brought in ping. So other than that, it's essentially the same. If you're looking for a server, if you've got a community server, or you know people with a community server, you want to jump in or whatever, then by all means separate out by community, and you can go and have a look. And obviously you can see there's different scenarios playing, kind of like different maps, but not the same. I guess it's you're on the map of Everon in most cases, and there is another map which is Ireland, which is you'll see on the official. So on the official ones here, you've got Conflict Everon and Conflict Ireland up at the top, two different islands. So, as far as I know, anyway, and the conflict is really capture the flag kind of stuff, and combat ops is, as it says there, a dynamic cooperative game mode, which is a little bit different. Game Master is essentially a unique one that has been created. In this case, it's been created on an official server, so it's been created by Bohemia. It's on the Everon Island, as you can see there, but it's got slightly different settings. And you can do that yourself in Game Master mode. You can create your own games. I've just been through and favorited up everything in my region that's official. I don't want to jump into anybody's private servers and basically screw up their game, but there's definitely some of these. So we'll jump in and we'll have a look at a couple of these. We'll probably have a look at Everon. We'll have a look at Ireland. I haven't been playing anything online yet, so there's nothing there on that. So that's essentially the multiplayer mode. Probably good if there's a group of you. You can jump on the same server, get involved in a game, everything else, all the rest of it. There's the scenario sides, which is again, it's doesn't give you the ping, but it's very definitely goal orientated here. Capture and hold the Briars, U.S. fuel depot southeast of Lamenton, following a Soviet attack. So you've kind of got to go do that. Just short games, jump in, jump out. Got a very specific goal in mind, so you just need to jump in and do it, and you either do it or you don't do it, etc., etc. We might have a look at one of those if we get time. Again, big game, and I'm only covering the basics in an hour. If it turns out that this is something people want to see me get involved in more, then by all means I'm happy to do so, but I will caveat that this game really isn't so much a single player game in the way that DayZ is. I would say that this game really is more dedicated towards groups and cooperative gameplay. Now, if you are jumping in and you don't want to jump in on any of the online scenarios or online multiplayer, and you just want to get used to the game, there's really two things that you can do here. There's the training, and then there's the conflict in Ireland. I'll give you I'll give you a look at the training, but I want to say something, and it's not a criticism of Bohemia, but the training is quite buggy, and I found it to be quite buggy, and in some cases it didn't really work very well, and also there was a variety of other bits and pieces that didn't seem to work. At one point, the skybox fell apart on me, and I ended up with some weird skybox, which I'll show you a screenshot of just now. There you go. All went a bit Minecraft. Yeah, so fell apart a little bit. But before we talk about that, look at this. Look at these graphics. Oh man, this is what I want DayZ to look like. I want DayZ to look like this. Could we get DayZ looking like this? Some of these assets are just great, and the trees, they look so much better. They look like, arguably real trees. The textures on the buildings have got a lot more detail. And the doors, you got these doors, which, look at these. Look at this detail. There's rusting and everything else. Got in here. Look at these big trucks. Look at these things. And all these bits and pieces. This engine hoist, pallet jack, the pallet, the fire hose, the lights. This is just, oh, yeah. I don't particularly like the door mechanics. They seem to, the doors like open halfway and then open full way and stuff like that. But the grasses, the plants, the various other bits and pieces you got here. You got pile of lumber, which is great. I don't think I can get over this. Oh, I can get over this. We'll just have a little nosy around so you get used to the graphics. Look at this. Look at this. Is so much better. Imagine if DayZ looked like this. This is so good. Look at this. This is now... Oh, I tell you, this is definitely my dream of what DayZ should look like on console. I don't know what it looks like on PC, but this is, you know, the level of detail even when you're up close and stuff. It's not broken and all the rest of it. So, I sincerely hope they manage to sort out whatever the issues are on console that prevent DayZ looking this good. The DayZ Sky is better. I'm going to say that right now. DayZ Sky is better. I don't like this skybox. It's just not high quality enough. It's just not high quality enough. So anyway, where were we? We're supposed to be doing some training. Yeah, and I just wanted to show you this because it's it is what it is. So there you go. I mean, there's also other things here. Like, this is not a survival game. I have no stamina. I have no food. I have no requirement for water. I don't need to go take a poop. I don't need any of that jazz. Look at this thing. It's probably seen this somewhere before. Slightly better, isn't it? But you need to climb that as opposed to actually just walking it. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh yes, that's right. So we'll take you down to the shooting range. We'll show you some basics of shooting. But
Yo,
then
you the guy the captain sent for?
yes, boss. I sure am. Do I need to talk to you first? I think I do, don't I? I need to start driving first.
You do drive stick, right? I mean, some of these guys.
Well, yeah,
like,
not
Start
really.
her up.
But
You
anyway.
don't want to be around HQ too long. Colonel Gray's on the fucking warpath.
And I tell you what,
Okay, through
the
main gate. Let's roll.
the cars drive a lot better.
At the crossroads, cut straight across along the dirt road. Watch out for potholes and you know mines and shit. I ain't even kidding.
I
This
ain't
island,
even kidding.
It's a fucking death trap. Okay, watch it. Bit of a sharp turn ahead.
We don't mind sharp turns here, soldier. Woo-wee.
Almost there. The range is just beyond the next turn. This is all part of the Soviets' military zone. Colonel Gray wants us to really dig in our heels here. Fuck knows how long for, though. I heard second week to be 5 days away. That's almost a week, man.
Almost.
Okay, pull up to that parking shed there. Then go see the instructor. Shoot some targets.
There you go, son.
I'll hang here. I've done my share of shooting this week.
Jolly
I'm
good.
tapped out.
That is the assault course. I get this like lag stuff from time to time. Assault course, we're not doing that one. This is the firing course, the firing range. So you gotta do this as part of the training. I got a couple of weapons here, which is all good.
Sergeant?
I'm good, man.
This here's the shoot. Pick up the 16 off the table.
Yes, sir. Here we go. We'll equip it.
And because right now, what you got there is about as useless as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Yes, it is.
I grab some mags from the ammunition box.
Yeah. Inventory's a little bit different here. You gotta sub-select. It's not quick. It's not quick. Anyway, I can pick that up, and this is I'll need that later. So you need to go across here until it goes orange. You got the box. What's in the box? There's nothing left in the box. So taking everything out of the box. Okay, fine.
Load your weapon.
Yes, sir. Hold square.
That rifle you're toting deserves your love and respect.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep your booger picker off the trigger and approach
try.
the firing line.
Sure.
Let's see what you got.
Not a lot.
5 targets. I want to hear 5 shots. Aim down the iron sights and knock them dead. Go.
That was probably a miss, to be fair. Ooh, I'm fast. Huh?
Try
Fast.
again. Only this time, lower your stance first, then do your shooting,
sorry.
Sergeant.
Yeah, got a squat. Sorry. Oh, missed. It's a solid miss.
Next,
Here we go.
take out the same 5 targets lying down in a prone position.
Yes, boss. That's all circled to you. That's really a miss. Sorry. Down. Oh. Fine tuning with these sticks, huh?
Lordy, lordy, who shot Shorty?
I don't know.
Okay, on your feet, Sergeant.
Oh, yes, sir.
Let's do this one more time. Position yourself behind the wall and lean out while firing.
Yes, boss. Toggle lean left is L3. Isn't it? Stand up, aim down sights, toggle lean left. Pretty sure it was L3. Oh, no, lean right. Gotcha. Oh, the third guy got me. The fourth guy's definitely got me. Oh.
All
There you
right,
go.
let's move on to the heavy stuff.
Let's.
Grab the squad automatic weapon from the bench.
Ooh. Hello.
She's something, ain't she?
Sure is.
Rest her on the table at the firing line and unfold the bipod.
Right. I had problems with this last time. Rest weapon. That's what you need to do. Now, I see. Deploy the bipod. Hold. Deploy. It's deployed. Now then, rest weapon is hold
okay,
X.
You ready?
That's,
Have at it.
That's not it. I'm pretty sure. That might be it. Ah!
Yeah! This ain't your first rodeo now, is it? How about we the ante here? Mount the 50 cal in the next lane over.
Whoa. Hello, soldier. It's okay.
Target's up.
Yeah.
Let her rip.
There we go.
I reckon that about does it. Let's save some rounds for the Rooskies.
Let's absolutely save some rounds for the Ruskies. But that is really it for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to duck out of this one and try that again. Go have a look at something else. Now, if you come back to this menu and you want to give the game a try with some NPC soldiers and some tasks and really sort of, after you've been through some of the training, and there's other things, specifically the navigation you're going to have to get used to. Navigating with the maps, because the maps, they don't tell you where you are, right? This is honest to goodness navigation. You have a compass, there are compass headings, there's a compass protractor. You can go through a whole load of complicated stuff with orienteering in order to find your way around this island. This is the island of Ireland that we are currently on. It's this real small thing here. They're not very large, but they're large enough. Large enough to have a few things in them. And there's a few things going on. This is my game, so I've already taken the airport base at Wisconsin, which is its code name, obviously. It's not actually in Wisconsin. So that was a bit interesting. Michigan is my current goal here. Sadly, it's middle of the night, which is a bit of a pain, honestly, because you don't have any way of getting around at night. So when you are in the game and it does change from day to night, I honestly have no clue what you're supposed to do about that yet. Anyway, the reason I brought you in here is I want to show you a couple of things. The first is you start off with this main base, this command center. In the back of the command center, I suppose I could probably equip my flashlight. So in the back of the command center tent, this is the command center tent, command post, there's a billboard. This billboard allows you to build parts of your base. Now, I strongly recommend two things when you're starting out. the first thing is you'll see from this build menu down at the bottom, you need an ammunition supply point. I have one. It's back here. It's these two things back here. This is where I put them. And it's like any build. You just put it around. I haven't found any way to rotate anything. It just seems to be locked in orientation. So I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But these two bunker tents, or whatever you want to call them, they supply you with your gear. So the available weapons for loadouts, the available clothes you want to wear, armor, etc., etc., etc. You're going to want that, and you're really going to need it. So you really need one of those. The other thing you're really going to want is this, which is the light vehicle maintenance, which is what I've got here. That's what this is right here, the light vehicle maintenance place. Now, the reason that you want the light vehicle maintenance place is because that allows you to requisition vehicles. And once you have requisitioned vehicles, you can drive around to get to your next goal. Now, the reason that you want to drive around to get to your next goal is because you're probably going to die a lot. I certainly have. so this is construction supplies. Don't need to worry about that for now. But you're going to die a lot. So when you're dying a lot, what you want to do is you want to go to here, and this is where you can requisition yourself a vehicle, and it costs money, and you need to do things. Sorry, really interrupted by my phone. So yeah, it costs supplies, but you do have quite a few supplies. Oddly enough, they seem to go up. So yeah, you can requisition a vehicle, and some of these vehicles have armaments on them. Look, you want to take a Hummer with a mounted machine gun on top, and clear some stuff out. That's great, but it does cost you supplies. So just do be aware of that. This is where it would be good if there was two of you. Or more, a team of you, because obviously you could have people driving, and you can have someone acting as gunner, etc., etc., etc. So me, I normally just get the cheapest thing here, which is the Jeep, and I take my Jeep to my destination, and I get killed, and then I go back, I respawn back here, and I requisition a new one, and that seems to suit me fine, and I don't run out of supplies. If you go over here, this weapons supply, this is your arsenal. So you can basically requisition anything you want. Everything costs a certain amount of supplies. I've not kind of figured out the limits on supplies and various bits and pieces. This is not my regular loadout. So if I go to my... I should have saved my loadout, because I normally take the... M21 here, which I actually just use square to pick that up. So I picked that up. That's now in my inventory, and I need a good scope for it. That's the sniper scope. So I take that, need to equip that, and then you need to look up the ammo, which is not the M14. For this is the M21. I think no, it's the M118 Special Ball Cartridges Sniper. That is the one that I want. I usually take about 3 mags of that. I've never run out of ammo, so I don't really know how that functions. But when I go down here and I hit that, it didn't put it on my gun for a change. Oh, need to get out of there. Let's try that again. As you can see, I find the inventory management quite hard. Select. I think we need to put it on. No. How did I do this the last time? That's just picking it up. I don't want to pick it up. I want to actually put it on my gun. See, this is probably the thing that I found. I really don't understand how the inventory works. I'm pretty sure that I should just select. So it's X, and then you go to the gun. I've struggled with that. Maybe because I'm so used to different inventory. This is like seems to be real micromanaging inventory, which is a lot like hard work. But anyway, so this is guns and ammo, buns and toasties, and over here is your other things like your medical supplies, bandages. In my case, I usually need quite a bit of those. Tourniquets for anything more serious. I'm usually dead by then. Don't need to worry about it. Binoculars are pretty good, but my volume and size is exceeded, so which is a bit of a surprise. Um, I think it takes up 1.6 kg. I probably could move some stuff around to get those, but seeing as I've got the sniper, I won't go into that right now. And there's a bunch of other bits. You can get different kinds of bags if you want increased kind of capacity. I will tell you the bags are huge. They are like they look really big. The large combat field pack is insanely large. So there you go. So this is where you go to your stuff. I was under the impression here that you could save your loadout. I think it's just for this session. Yeah, so it's largely for this session. So that's it. So these are the things that you really, really, really need. Is you really, really need the light vehicle maintenance point. You see my supplies have gone up. I don't know how the supplies work, but you see my supplies have gone up. And you really need the ammunition because it does with your guns and your bits and pieces. That will help you out a huge amount. Now, when it comes to navigating, there's an entire training course on this. This is my cursor, but doesn't tell you where I am. There's nothing that tells you where I am, right? I just know that I'm down here at the main operating base. And north is directly north. What you can do is you can pull out the compass, which is over here. Now, it goes through this in some detail, but there's a north point and a black line on my compass. The black line shows me where north is in relation to where I am standing. So if I get back out of this, if I wanted to stand true north, I would have to stand and turn in this direction. Now, you can go into your inventory, which is left on the D-pad, and you can go in here and you can select this and you can equip it. And then when you go out, I am now looking at it, and you use L2 to aim. So I have zeroed my compass with north, so I am now looking north. So this is the training you go through. So I now know that I'm looking north. My compass is aligned north. The map is aligned north. So anything else out of here is where I want to go. Farm, Michigan is down here. Now, if you consider that I'm standing north, this is 90. This is 180. And this is 135, sort of. Actually, 135 is probably this line, which is heading out to Signal Hill. So this is like around about like 115 or something like that. So if I want to head out to my destination, what I want to do is I want to select my compass, which is here. I will equip my compass. And I will set my direction like around about 120, 115, 120. That's the direction I want to go in to get to my destination. This way. Da, 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 da. Now I know that there's a gate here. And navigating at night, I do not recommend for the faint-hearted. I haven't found any night vision goggles. I'm sure there must be some somewhere. There must be some ability to use night vision goggles. But basically, if you're going a long distance and you're going by foot, that's how you would navigate by compass. I'm not going to be going by foot because it's a pain. I'll be driving there. But I'll be driving there in the daytime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it's daytime and then I'll bring you back in and we'll have a little chin wag then. I'll see you soon. Right. Day has dawned. There's got to be a faster way to do this. I just basically had to hide out in this barn. So where am I? I'm in this barn here. This structure here is a barn. I'm in this barn. My objective is the farmhouse across this paddock. Now, the place is crawling with Russians, who are the NPC foes in this dilemma. Now, they're all much better at seeing me and much better at shooting me than I am at seeing them or shooting them. As far as I know, they don't actually come into buildings until shot at. Like, they don't check buildings. But they are wandering around, and if you do shoot from inside a building, they will come and investigate. And they can see you. Like I said, they are particularly eagle-eyed. I think if my experience with the first scenario is anything to go by, there's like a finite number of them. And once you've taken out that finite number of them, they don't come back. So I just don't know. Every time I go out here, I tend to get shot. So we'll go around this way. I know that there's a sandbag bunker around the other side of the farmhouse. I did one time make it up here in the dark, but then got shot because they're all the NPCs are cats. They can see perfectly in the dark. You can't see diddly squat. They can see perfectly fine. You can't see anything. Let's get over here. Come on. Over my fence. So there's usually NPCs rocking around somewhere. I usually go to either squat or prone to try and scope the place out, but they still manage to see me. So that blue flag is the tent that I'm supposed to capture. There's a guy there. The zeroing must be off. Oh, come on. Oh! So somebody else is shooting at me. So I need to pick my bandage. So to me that shooting's coming from all around me. So I can't tell where I'm being shot at from. Well, I did just see that tracer. Over here somewhere. I can't see anybody. How they can possibly see me, I don't know. Oops. Sorry, I meant to fix the zero there. I got that guy. And sometimes they'll come around and flank you. They're quite canny, these NPCs. So see, there he is. Oh! He hit me. Hit me again. Shot in the head. Which is pretty much what happens to me a lot of the time. So there you go. So I usually go up there and I usually get maybe one or two, and then I get shot in the head. And then you have to redeploy and you go back to your spawn-in location and you do it all again. and that's it. But I mean, I guess that's how you learn, right? I mean, this actually, honestly, this is the training. This is the training for going online and doing all of the other stuff. So, I reckon this is your training. The training stuff, quote unquote, shows you the basics. But this is actually your training. So we're gonna skip this and we're gonna go and have a look at a couple other things. Right, so let's revisit the scenarios. So the way the scenarios work is you like I said, there's these particular scenarios that you have, and there's Combat Ops Ireland and Combat Ops Everon, and Conflict Ireland and Conflict Everon, Northern Everon, Southern Everon, etc. They're also on the other game selections choices. So how this works is you could host one yourself. You could jump in. You could just you could play it, and other your friends could join. You could have a battle between you and your friends, whatever. You and our friend, depending on it. It's just to capture the flag mission. But if you want to have a look at what's online, if you hit the pad, it shows you the available servers. No servers currently playing that one already. We have this one here, which is up. No players out of a possible 128. And the ping is incredibly high. So there you go. We have another couple here. Nobody playing on those. These don't seem very popular. We got these guys, ARMA Dudes 3, PvP, Capture and Hold. There's a Discord channel, etc., etc. And there's currently 2 players there, and the ping is 193. It seems like a lot of these, for me, the ping is very high. So none of... This is German, Deutsche, which is why the ping's like over 270. None of these seem to be running in my neck of the woods. That's all the capture ones. They're all pretty much gone. So that's how you would play those if you were playing those. If you wanted to do the Conflict Ireland things, you would do the same. Find servers. So I'll have a look, and there's a whole load of servers. And like I said, I've had a look at the official servers, and I've had a look at the official servers that are in my neck of the woods. There's currently only 2 servers up and running, and one of them is full, and one of them only has 5 people on it, and that's the one that we're going to jump in and have a little look at. And then, obviously, of course, as I've said, you've got the multiplayer, which, to be honest, it's kind of the same thing. But you seem to have a larger variety of options to choose from. So this is Conflict Ireland. This is on a live server, so this is happening live, and I am overdubbing this. So it's pretty much the same, and I was in on this earlier, and there was a couple of guys on, but today when I joined again, there was nobody on, so it was just little old me, and I was taking the position of the Russians, and I was working on the Russian side. So I mean, it's essentially exactly the same as I discussed with you. You get started, there's a deployment, you pick a side, there's objectives. So the objective is to take the airbase, the airport, and when I got in, it was different than the last time I played. I don't know why that is, but there's no, as you can see, there's no ammunition supply, which I did say was quite important. And no light vehicles. Light vehicles probably for this instance didn't matter to me much, but definitely wanted the ammunition supply. So that's the first thing I did. So again, as I said to you, this is just the same on a live server. So on a live server, the first thing you want to do is get ammunition supply. So I just found a relatively convenient place to put it, and I dumped it, and that's that. And as you'll find out when you go through training, it doesn't just automatically build itself. You have to build it. So it's like building a base. You get a trenching shovel, and it gives you the opportunity to actually finish completing it. And it depends on how many supplies you have available. But basically, you just start digging, and away you go. And that's how you expand your base, and that's how you take over areas, and you build your defenses. You might build sandbags, machine gun nests, all kinds of bits and pieces. So that's essentially part of the game. So what I'll do is I'll just let it run on kind of double speed or something like that, just so you get a feel for what it's like. But it's pretty much exactly the same on the live server as it is if you're just doing it offline with the NPCs. And there you go. I wish I had some more co-op stuff to show you, but sadly I don't. I did do a session with a couple of guys on the map that I was just running around in, and we went out and we did a bit of work and everything else. And look, it's essentially the same as the main game, the NPC conflict game. You are on your island. You have a series of objectives that you need to achieve. You can do it as part of a team if you have a team leader to tell you what to do. That's all well and good. If it's a bunch of noobs, you're just trying to figure it out. I think that's all well and good as well. It's definitely better with more people in that respect. But it's not an absolute hard requirement. Obviously, if you're playing on multiplayer and there's people on the opposing side, they're obviously trying to work to stop you and attack your base and do damage. And look, there's a lot more to Arma Reforger than I can possibly show you in the first hour. Even after 4 or 5 hours worth of mucking around in gameplay and trying to figure things out, I can tell you that I still know absolutely nothing. So there's certainly a lot to it, but it's definitely an online war shooter game where you have a series of objectives. I never played Call of Duty Online or any of that stuff, anything like that, so I can't comment as to what it's like or how it compares to any of those other games or anything else. But this is Arma Reforger. This is what DayZ came from, and this was something that I really felt that I had to jump in and at least give a try. And I might stick with it, and I might not. There's so many things on my plate of stuff to do. So on that, so just as a bit of a recap, so you have the base game, which you can play solo by yourself against the NPCs. There is the training side of things, which, while it is glitchy in places, I think it's very good to go through it a few times and get a handle on things, especially map navigating, because the map is very unforgiving, doesn't tell you where you are, which in a sense is exactly the same as DayZ. The DayZ map doesn't tell you where you are, you just got to know. So again, you probably want to get familiar with map navigation and points of interest and how to get around, various things like that. I'd get familiar with the inventory, reloading, some of the quick slots, various other bits and pieces. Playing the conflict by yourself is a good place to start offline. I think that gives you an opportunity to make some mistakes, do some things, learn the basics of base building and deployment, and various other bits and pieces like that. The kind of loadouts that you're going to be comfortable with, not comfortable with, driving vehicles, etc., and so on, that kind of thing. I think it's a very good place to start. Doesn't really teach you how to use the radio, and I think it's probably something you can maybe invite other people to join. Don't know, not sure about that. Have to work that one out. Combat Ops Everon is a slightly different one. Again, I haven't played that. Game Master Ireland is setting up your own scenarios again, which I haven't tried. There's just too many things to do. The multiplayer and the scenarios are essentially largely the same. The scenario side of things is particular capture the flag missions. So you go out and you have a look and see what servers are available, if any are running. Seems to be that there's only a few servers that are running these particular capture the flag missions. You want to jump on, you want to do multiplayer. This gives you all of the available multiplayer servers across the globe, which you can sort by ping, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Please, for heaven's sake, bring this into DayZ, because that would be great. So you can see there's a lot going on. This is busy. This is busy stuff. Grouse Gaming in Australia, 128 of 128 players. Woo! They're busy. They got their own Discord. PvP, PvP. Obviously, for ZSU conflict, PvP is really kind of what more or less this game is about. Obviously, you want to capture bases, establish dominance over the island, set up your defenses, and try and repel attacks. I mean, I guess that's pretty much the way it goes. A lot of the official stuff looks to be busy right about now. Conflict Ireland looks to be busy, and Conflict Everon and Conflict Everon. Which one was I playing? I was playing Conflict Ireland, but for some reason there's only 3 people. So just on the wrong server. I have a bunch of servers that are favorited, but there's certain hours down here at the bottom, probably because I don't want to like muck up these guys' game if there's so many people. But I mean, it's up to you. What kind of level of in-depth stuff you want to do, and maybe there's 3 or 4 or 5 of you or something, and you want to jump in, you want to cause a bit of havoc. And some of these is pretty small. Combat Ops Everyone's only got six possible play slots. Combat Ops Everyone seems to be a very small map. There's no Combat Ops Ireland I see there. Certainly not on the stuff that I can see. What have we got here? Combat Ops. No, I guess they don't run Combat Ops in Ireland. They only run Combat Ops in Everon. So there you go, and that's how you find stuff. And they've got this in detail field manual all about everything, all about how to use the stuff and all the basics of getting in and out and applying bandages and all the stuff that might help you not get immediately killed. So yeah, there you go. ARMA Reforger. Maybe it's for you, maybe it isn't for you. It is Bohemia Interactive. It is the original one from DayZ. I do love the graphics. I wish the graphics and the assets and things, I wish we could get those over to DayZ. I really, 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 really do, because it would just be so much better if we had this quality on DayZ. Although sadly, we don't. So there you go. I hope you have found this useful. If you are thinking, ARMA is not on offer currently, so it is expensive. So if you're wondering what it is and what it looks like and how you get involved and the complexities and things, I hope this has opened your eyes to a few bits and pieces. It does take an awful lot to learn. There is an awful lot to learn at the beginning. I think it's one of those things. It's got a fairly steep learning curve, and then it's sort of mastery beyond that, which is sort of in keeping with DayZ, as we do know. So there you go. I hope this has been useful. I hope you like this video. If you do like it, please click the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Please click the bell notification so you know when the next one of these is coming out. And feel free to drop a line, ask any questions, provide any comments, anything else. Also, I'd be interested to hear, are you playing it? Are you not playing it? Are you interested in getting it? Are you not interested in getting it? Do you prefer DayZ? Is this not your kind of thing? And I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.
PlayStation